We finally got it. The Spider-Man Far From Home official trailer has dropped for everybody online. We've got to break this trailer down, talk about all the cool things that are in it, and how it spoils Avengers Endgame. Stay up to date about the nerdy things that you care about. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode. I'm excited, you're excited. We got Spider-Man Far From Home footage, and yeah, we're gonna break it down and talk about those Avengers Endgame spoilers that are in there. Come on, Sony. But before we do all that, I need to shout out Dennis Coy, who got the nerd card question correct in the Marvel video I did about the time loop theory with Doctor Strange and Loki. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to Marvel, so shout out to you, Dennis, and we'll do another nerd card question at the end of this show. All right, so let's get right into the breakdown, talk about everything we see in the trailer, and then we'll talk about how this possibly spoils Endgame and the beef between Sony and Marvel when it comes to marketing Spider-Man Far From Home. So the trailer starts out with a fundraiser of sorts. It looks like Spider-Man is helping Aunt May out. This is pretty cool because obviously at the end of Homecoming, she finds out that he's Spider-Man. She, does a lot of charitable work herself. And one of the things that's really cool in the comics is that Peter Parker's trying to help Aunt May to pay the rent and different things like that. So it looks like he helped her out with this kind of a fundraiser. That's kind of cool. We then get a scene with Happy Hogan showing up with a big old check, probably for the fundraiser himself. We get a little flirtatious scene between Aunt May and Happy. It's just humor. They're sort of playing off of that meme of the hot Aunt May thing. It's pretty cool. I like it. You then see a montage of Peter Parker getting ready for his field trip, little school trip going over to Europe. And it is here where we get this cool scene of Peter Parker deciding to leave the Spider-Man suit at home. He says Europe doesn't need a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and I think he just wants to be a kid, just wants to kind of stop being Spider-Man for a little bit and just enjoy himself on vacation, which is pretty cool. Now, a lot of us did speculate that maybe him not having the suit in the movie after the leaked trailer came out from the Comic-Con in Brazil all had to do with him not being an Avenger anymore. Perhaps the Avengers weren't around anymore. Perhaps people weren't allowed to be Avengers anymore after something that happened in Endgame, but no, it just appears that Peter just wants a little time off. We then get some really nice montage scenes with the crew just hanging out, enjoying Europe. There's a lot of flirtation between MJ and Peter. Really funny scene with her kind of saying, am I only valuable because I'm pretty? And then she's giving him a hard time and she calls him pretty. We then get Nick Fury busting on in a scene, darting Ned in the neck and introducing himself to Spider-Man. Nick Fury recruits Spider-Man to help Mysterio. We get a lot of shots of these elementals that we heard about. These are going to be the main villains in the movie. And then we get some sick shots with Mysterio fighting one of these entities, being introduced as the hero. Now, obviously, we heard about this from that Comic-Con in Brazil, but man, Fishbowl confirmed. We got Fishbowl Mysterio flying around. The magic looks absolutely dope that he's using. I'm super pumped about how cool the Jake Gyllenhaal Mysterio actually looks. Now, overall, I think this trailer is really successful, setting up some really crazy ideas as we go into Spider-Man Far From Home. What exactly is going on with Mysterio and these entities? Why is Nick Fury kind of the lead man in charge for Peter Parker rather than Tony Stark? A lot of questions, some cool teasers. Overall, very successful trailer. However, you'll remember this trailer is actually delayed. This was supposed to come out about a week after it initially aired for the people at that Comic-Con in Brazil, and the reports were that this trailer was delayed because of some friction between the Disney marketing team and the Sony marketing team. They're actually upset, Marvel that is, at Sony and how they plan on marketing this movie. And as I watched this official trailer release, I tried to sort of juxtapose it against what we heard was in the trailer at Comic-Con Brazil. Perhaps there were some scenes that they took out and maybe that's why it was adjusted for the international big audience. I couldn't really find anything. I couldn't really see anything that was different from what people described and what we saw this morning. And so the more I thought about it, the more I think Marvel's probably just butthurt because Sony is showing Nick Fury interacting with Tom Holland's Spider-Man and not showing any Iron Man in the movie. So you can sort of read between the tea leaves. And spoilers, guys, Kevin Feige already announced that this movie does take place after Infinity War and Avengers 4, and that events from both of those movies will impact Peter in Far From Home. So it's not a prequel to Avengers Endgame. Like, that's not what's happening here, guys. It's confirmed to be taking place after that. And so on the surface level, this spoils that Nick Fury's alive, that Spider-Man's alive, that the snap is undone, and that Tony Stark is not around, seemingly talking about how perhaps Tony is actually dead in the MCU at this point. And you might say, well, yeah, we all know the snap is gonna be undone. We all know that there could be a chance that Tony Stark or Captain America dies. I don't think these are really big spoilers, but when you juxtapose what was shown in this Spider-Man Far From Home trailer to what was shown in the Avengers Endgame trailer, it's pretty clear that Marvel and Sony are on different pages. Sure, it's true that a lot of Marvel fans already know that the snap is going to be undone and that, there's going to be some death in Endgame, but to the casual moviegoer, they're still on the fence. They don't know if the snap will be undone, and this movie and this trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home kind of spoils that for people. And I think at the end of the day, Sony just isn't gonna spend the kind of money to do misdirection in the trailer, to do VFX work, to hide things or make things look different like Marvel often does in their trailer. And again, look at the Endgame trailer itself. I am one of the people that actually believe that a lot of that footage isn't even gonna be in Endgame and that this trailer's kind of fake. And so Marvel's on this one page trying to show as little as possible, and I think that they were probably trying to convince people at Sony to sort of play along, to follow suit, to bare bones it when it came to this trailer, but that's not really what happened. It looks like Sony on a different page than Marvel when it comes to marketing, kind of spoiling a little bit of that Endgame stuff. But that's the news out there, guys. First official trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Can't stress how much I love Fishbowl Mysterio. It's gonna be really cool. Pretty hyped to see the film. What did you think of the trailer, the little breakdown that we did here? And what do you think of this beef that Marvel and Sony are having about the Spider-Man Far From Home marketing? Is it possible that we'll see Sony sort of pull back on that, or is there no way that's gonna happen and they're going to kind of spoil that the snap is going to be undone? And do you even care about that? Whatever your thoughts are about that and more, let me know in the comments section below. Now let's check your nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know, in Marvel Comics, what is the job that Peter Parker's parents actually had? They worked for a organization that's pretty well known in Marvel Comics. What was the name of that organization? Answer that question in the comments section below. Guys, there's a lot of crazy news that I want to get to. There were some fiscal reports when it came to Star Wars, sort of explaining where the Star Wars brand is at a little bit. There's a lot of rumors regarding Star Wars. There's a lot of crazy Marvel stuff, Game of Thrones stuff, tons of stuff coming to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and check back to get all of those videos. I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.